What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Cody Crafted. Today we're going to do things just a little different than what we've done in the past. Let's do some fab work, kind of show you guys the other side of the house, some of the stuff that we do. I'm not going to show you the whole scope because some of it's probably proprietary, but you know what? The algorithm kind of really doesn't know what to do with us, is what Steve and I kind of feel like. We feel like we're on the cusp of breaking through and making this channel successful, which is great, which is thanks to you guys. However, I will tell you that it takes a substantial amount of effort to make these videos, and a fair bit of lost production and a fair bit of cost. So I'm here Saturday by myself, got to get some stuff cut for Monday morning. I actually was supposed to cut it yesterday, but we had a problem. Roll the intro, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Let's go build something cool. First off, quick tour of the shop to let you know what's going on. Corey's Red C10 is in for some touch-up stuff. It has a little bit of a misfire, and it's got some old fuel lines that need to be replaced. We're doing a whole video on that thing. My neighbor Jim, his Cadillac runaround car, it's got like 200,000 miles on it. It might have a blown head gasket. I'm probably not going to go into depth on that because this is not Chris Fix. And I'm definitely not going to video replacing head gaskets if we wind up doing it. Ryan's 69 Dodge Dart is in the house. That is getting full QA1 front clip, probably a sniper, probably an overdrive. We got a lot of cool stuff coming on this one. Of course, we're videoing that one for you. You guys recognize Rowans Firebird. Rowan used to be our editor, and this has got a 5.3 and a 4L60 in it. We swapped out the V6. This was his grandma's car originally. His grandpa bought this new. So really cool. It's got some oil leaks. We put the motor in it like two and a half years ago, whatever it was. And so it's just time for some touch-up-y work. And I got a set of gears and subframe connectors and sway bars that we may be putting on this go-around. I don't know. They haven't told me exactly if we're going to do that yet or not. It just kind of depends on what it takes to get these couple oil leaks fixed. LSs and rear main seals are a thing. Sorry. The problem with this one is you got to take the motor and tranny out the bottom in order to get it out. There is no room from the firewall to get the trans out of it. If you tell me you can do it, you're wrong. I put that motor in. I know what cradle's in it. I know what cross member's in it. I know what tranny and motor mounts and all that stuff is in it. You cannot get the transmission off the back of the motor. It all has to come out the bottom. That's okay. Go ahead and jump in the comments and tell me I'm wrong, though. Alex's Bronco from New Mexico. This thing, we are, of course, videoing this. It's got all its frame has been wire wheeled, and we're gonna get everything cleaned up, do some anti-rust corrosion-y stuff. Not on the bodywork. We don't really do bodywork here. He's gonna have the paintwork done locally. This is his like elk hunting rig, and we've got all this desolate goodness and a full case of Steal It. Steve-O's Burb, Clifford, the Big Red Bourbon. There's multiple videos on this one. It is posted for sale by the time this video posts. It may still be available. This thing's got 105-ish thousand original miles on it, and it's killer. This motor is out of another truck that came through, and it's getting swapped off for another project we're going to talk about in the future. You're going to love it. You've never seen it. You probably haven't seen one like it. It's kind of common, but it's the weird version of common. It's going to be cool. Keep tuned for that one. Like, subscribe, share, blah, 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 notifications. You'll see about it. It's cool. That is a Kibitech built chassis that gets a bug body. There is a overland rack for Steve's Chevy that's up on top of it. Don't mind that. We've already started building the fuel cell for it, or mocking out the fuel cell to have it built by Harman. And we got to get the body mounted, and we're going to do air conditioning, and we're going to do all the sealed cab. I'm going to do my best Morgan Clark impression. And this is going to be some Terra Crew type stuff. You're going to love it. Oh, hey, look, new pit bike. Zuma. If you ever did any drag racing or road racing, you know about Zumas. They're fantastic. They're killer. Scored that one on Marketplace. Dusty's Bronco. There's videos on this one. Unfortunately, we're afraid it's going to need at least head gaskets, if not a motor. He drove this in high school. It's only like 70,000 miles on it. That sucks. LRA tanks. That's right. This one's for 200 series Land Cruiser. This one is for an FJ. We'll do videos on putting those in. Up top, there's like 5 sets of methods. Chilling up there for future projects. Let's see. Right now, I'm going to take you over to the Fab Shop, but we got to get this table cleared off. We'll talk about our Langmuir table and prime weld cut 60. Don't worry about that little guy. This is the motor out of the 93 Bronco that we threw the kitchen sink at. It is going into the 58 F100 that Steve and I have. We just posted this video a couple videos ago, if you scroll back, about this big Billy Bad Ace 3-phase vertical bandsaw. So that kind of keeps you caught up on where we're at here. I got my keys and we're walking over to the Fab Shop. Garretts Office. It's where the Fab Master makes his master plan. There's the forklift. Nothing special there. Get us some lights. Ta-da! Okie dokie. So this is the Fab Shop. Let's talk about material rack. We whipped these up a few months back to be able to handle our long stuff. This will hold, you know, 20, 30, 24 foot. We get lots of 20 and 24 foot material for our big projects. Hang tight, I'll show you that in a second. This is a Grizzly G0613. Please ignore the amount of crap and rustiness on it. The pump, after 3-4 years of faithful service, took a dump. That is already on order. It just has not arrived yet. My little 6x12. This thing is handier than a pocket on a shirt. Of course, we got big fan. We got swamp cooler, roller tables, cut rack, stuff that's already cut for things to go on it. This is Garrett's old link welder 225. This thing has a Continental flat twin. It's old and it's crusty, but it kicks butt. Got to have a set of torches. Got a little compressor. This is the Everlast Cyclone 312. There are 2 videos on the channel about that one, our unboxing, and then our update video. You guys go in and check those out. Tell you all about it. Try to be pretty thorough. New acquisition, Miller 252. Bought this one used. These are about $4 to $5 grand new. Got this one for about $3 on Marketplace here recently, running like a champ. Make sure that gas is off. It is Miller-Matic 180. This is Garrett's 180. Works really good on sheet metal, not for our thicker stuff. We are doing a lot of like 1/8 inch up through 1 inch stuff, so that's why we had to have the big boys. Painted around. We got some stuff that's already cut. We got this rack, Garrett's little 40 amp plasma that he owns personally. This thing is freaking awesome. We've been borrowing this from Brian for months. Of course, beam clamp. When we do beam stuff, this magnet is killer. Those things are great for handling stuff. This is my Fabricator 211i. It is, you know, thermal arc. This has now been rebadged as the ESOB Rebel, and then it was updated again after that. So ESOB Rebel has my walrus of approval, because seals are stupid. Not Navy SEALs. Like ball, yeah, no, those seals, yeah. Aluminum spool gun for the Everlast 312, and have not had a chance to use it, but we did get phone calls the other day for a big aluminum project. This table is actually really cool. It was cheap by comparison and wasn't worth the effort to build it ourselves based on the cost. We actually got this at our local Metal Mart, which is like a metal building supplier that we get, you know, some stuff from time to time, sometimes gate hinges and all that jazz. This table is really freaking cool. I think it was like $300, $269, $329, something like that. They've got this one with this 3/16 top, and they've got another one with a 1/4 inch top. It's 24-ish by 8 foot. and it bolts right together, and it's really stout. Like, we've really been impressed with it. Garretts Boxes. These are kind of some of the stuff we either buy or have plasma cut, or we cut ourselves. Like, these are roof rack mount plates for awnings and whatnot. Lock boxes for some of the gates we do. You know, roll cage tabs, little tie down hooks for lifting eyes. And then in the Kimball cabinet up here, you know, abrasive wheels, flap discs. These Kimball grinders, they're about. Anyways, I don't know where we died in there. So Kimball cabinet has got you know, consumable flap wheels, all that stuff. Garretts Box of Mysteries. Rags for wiping things down. We got the jams. This is 5x5 by 3/8. This is a 8-inch, like a Northern Tool vise. Big heavy stand. Underneath here, this is a Beverly shear. So throatless rotary shear on this little stand that we built. We copied this stand from Levi at Hammer Fab. Brian next door he does work down there and he's buddies with Levi. So yeah, shout out to Levi at Hammer Fab. Good videos, good content. Eric Barandi, who's a friend of the shop, he does all the editing for them. Up top, we got the cab for the bug body. We got a bunch perforated up there. We got a bunch perforated over there. Those are all drops and leftovers. Brand new perf right here from McNichols. This is all 14 gauge 5x10 sheets that have been sheared down with 11/16 holes, or half-inch holes on 11/16 centers. Sorry. Good stuff. This is what we're coming for here. We needed some 1/4 inch in a hurry for some small stuff, and honestly, I didn't feel like paying for a full sheet of 1/4 inch plate, so I just bought a stick of flat bar, because flat bar's handy. All right, outside currently right now, these are posts for those gates over there. I'll show you those in a second. If you've seen our Instagram, you've seen some of the stuff we do on there. These are more 5x5 by 3/8. Those are the posts that we need for the guide rollers for this rolly gate. This is 9.5 feet tall and 27 feet long. It gets covered in that perf, along with these guys. This is 6, so 3 gates, 3 sets of gates, 6 leaves. They are 4x4 11 gauge, 3/4, 2x2 11 gauge, and then they get covered in perf also. So that's what all that fun stuff is for. Garrett and his buddy Ryan that came down. Ryan will probably be working for us at the end of the summer, I would imagine. Ryan's a good dude. He came down and they knocked out these guys. It was actually really funny. We were able to crank those out really quick. We didn't get material until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and on Monday, and they had a 3:30 tea time, and then by Friday all of that was built and done. So shout out to Garrett and Ryan and Dax. Dax comes in on the afternoons. He'll be full-time in the not too distant future when he graduates high school. So that's kind of the lay of the land right this second. I'm gonna grab that flat bar. It's kind of hard to hold a camera while I'm carrying a 12-foot long piece of 1/4 inch. And so I'm gonna go grab that, and we're gonna set it up on the plasma table, and we're gonna talk about the plasma table and the little bit of issue I had. So hope you guys are enjoying this one. Maybe. I don't know. If you're not, get in the comments. So I'm telling you, get in the comments. It drives engagement. That's what it's about. It's all about engaging with your followers. That's what the internet tells me. All right, we got our material in, and I need to give you guys a little update on the plasma cutter. I've had my prime weld cut 60 for probably, I don't know, Steve, what, 3 years, 4 years now? Quite a while. Several years. I think I ordered it in 20. Yeah, at the house shop. Yeah, I mean, it's been.
Before the house shop, you had it, right? You had it when we were in Joshua
No, I have there's a little Lincoln. I've got a Lincoln that's a 20 amp. Anyway, so I've had my Primal for the Cut 60 for a while. It's been great. I think it's only hiccuped once, but it hasn't failed the entire time we've had it. So I go to cut some stuff yesterday. Needed to cut some floor plates for some work we do for a local sign company. And it wasn't cutting very good, and it started doing funky, so I stopped the file, or stopped the process, and went to change the consumables just because it wasn't blowing all the way through the 3/8. And so what I did was took the nozzle off and the swirl ring and all that stuff, and then the center electrode, I went to take it out, and I have never had this happen to me before. I swear, baby. Anyway, so I went to take it out, and the freaking thing twisted off on me. And so it's seized in this brass part right here. I don't have spares because I haven't needed them. Hasn't been a problem. Anyways, so I called Prime Weld, and they answer the phone right away, and they've had great customer service too, in my experience. And unfortunately, the handle kits that would have this piece, they're out of stock. Machine torches, out of stock. And this is stuff we have to have cut for production on Monday. Like I said, today's Saturday. So anyways, I kind of get in a panic, and so I go ahead and order. I have to order a whole new rig, and then he back ordered me the fix for this one, so that way I've got a spare. So I start calling buddies, like, hey, is your table up and running? Is this, is that, blah, blah, blah. Can I use your plasma cutter? Don't you have the same machine I do? Yes, no, whatever. Anyways, so I call Patrick, and he is the guy that we actually got this linear table from. He's got a new 5x10 that is running but not up and rolling. Long story short, Patrick's been using the Razor Weld 45. And the Razor Weld 45 or the Razor Weld and the Prime Weld, they use the same one. So Patrick was awesome, and he loaned me his handheld torch because he's got a machine torch now. So he's not using this apparatus. The only difference is his uses hypertherm consumables. So we threw fresh tips in this. We don't have to cut a ton, but he said I was welcome to hang on to this till I got mine fixed. So once again, shout out to Patrick and all his killer Grand Nationals. He does some cool work. Really nice guy. Lives right up the road. Thumbs up. Good friend. Alrighty, so here's where we're at. I got my consumable stuff out here on the table. I got to get it cleaned up a little bit. As you saw, we cleaned up the table in our little time lapse there. I'm sure we threw some really nice little funky rock music or something over the top of that. Unless you got a better idea.
Stupid you were being, it might be some funny circus music. Who knows?
Steve-O's here. If you can't hear me in the background because I'm mic'd and he's not. So you got the terrible twosome today. After this job, we are definitely going to clean the tray on the Langmuir because it's getting funky. But you guys don't care about that because that's just housekeeping crap. Alrighty, so let me get this cleaned off. I'm going to swap this over. We'll get everything hooked up, and then we'll go to the computer, and I'll show you guys the stuff we're doing. We're going to make a file, and we're going to cut some parts. And then we're going to cut some other parts, and then we're going to go grab some 14 gauge, and we're going to cut those parts. We got lots of cutting to do today. Yay! Alrighty, here is our widget that we're after. This is a roller guide tab for that big long gate that we showed you at the first part. I have created a mirror of it so that our nesting is a little better, so I don't have to fight it. We could actually take this and duplicate it again, but I don't have a full sheet. We're using that flat bar that we talked about. So this is all done in the design space. If you feel like you need a little bit of a tutorial, I can show you all my rusty moves, and just jump in the comments and tell us. All right, we're going to manufacturer space. This creates this highlighted block, and I've already done our setups, but I'll run through the edit for you real quick. Setup one, go in here, we pick the box point, which is here. You can go through the Langmuir website and they'll walk you through how to do all this. We are at 3.28 inches by 5.69. So that's good because we're using 6-inch wide flat bar. If we turn this 90 degrees and lay it out, we'll actually be in really good shape. We won't have to eat up a bunch. I've gone in and named it here, and we're all set in that part. Now, once we've created that setup, we go into 2D cutting profile, which we've already created. We've selected our tool, which from our local is number 2, which is 1/4 inch on our Cut 60 plasma. I have all those set up with 1/8 inch quarter. I don't have all the sheet metal sizes, but the ones that we use all the time, 1/8 inch quarter, 3/16, 3/8. That's what we normally are cutting with. It likes 47 inches a minute. I've done a bunch of cutting with this. We've selected our contours. You'll notice there are arrows here, 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 here. The swirl in the plasma tip, actually, when you're cutting inside profiles, you want it to roll to the left and the outside profile to roll to the right. Don't ask me all the details. That's just what it says. Like I said, go through the Langmuir website and they'll give you the walkthrough. All this stuff you pretty much leave alone. You go to linking. We are keeping nozzle down. What keeping nozzle down does is keeps you from flipping your parts up when you go to the next piece, which works really well. Keeps you from bumping your material around. Maximum stay down distance, 33 inches, because that is the length of our table, the width of our table. I usually bump the stay down feed rate to 100 inches a minute, just so our transit times, as it comes through areas to move to the next cut, it does speed up a little bit. It'll go to like, I think it's 200 or 300 inches a minute. That's kind of excessive wear and tear, in my opinion. Lead in positions, we don't care. It's not that big of a deal. Done. All right, so then it creates this toolpath. This toolpath is made by the machine. We go to simulate with machine and we tell it to cut. And you can see it as it moves over. The main thing you want to pay attention to is, are these lead ins on the right side of the line? And are you missing any areas? You can speed it up with this bar and slow it down and run it backwards if you want to. It's pretty cool. I like it. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I have my nozzle size turned way down because I like being able to see the details instead of the like crazy yellow green stuff. Anyways, we're done there. Let's move on. Then you go to post process. We've already done the post process. I don't need to make another one. NC programs, NC program 1 edit, that's us. We're using our fire control plasma post processing algorithm, or whatever you want to call it. We go into the file, roller guide tab, inches, file extension, cut height. We're turning off IHS, initial height sensing, and torch height control. Turn off the THC. It's not legal in this state. All right, so all set. We've already posted it. We don't have to do it again. That file is now saved over here in our DXF files for our client. Tabs and gussets, roller tabs, roller tab guide NC 5/11/24, 2:26 p.m. That's us. That is our actual program. So we are done with this one. Fire control doesn't do anything until you plug it into the machine. So now we gotta go outside. And we're over here at our plasma cutting station. That's right, look at here. Woohoo! All right, so this wakes up when you hook it up to the controller box. We got our plasma turned on. I need this turned down to about 40. Set our air pressure. 50. We got this guy ready to go. Yeah, wait a minute. Here you go. Look at here. This will be fun. Ugh. Nice. All right. We got to set our torch height. Alrighty. We're gonna go here. pull you guys off the stand for a second. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I usually turn our jog mode down, jog speed down. We're gonna open our file. They won't let me screen grab this, so this is the best you get. Sorry. Going up. Concrete guys, tabs and gussets, roller tab, roller guide tab. This is the one from January, this is the one from May. This is the one we want, the new one. Validating program. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scale and rotate, and I'm gonna rotate 90 degrees. We're gonna generate that program. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to set a program origin as this corner, and then we're gonna 0 axes so that we know where our crosshairs is. Then we gotta look right down here. We're pretty stinking close as far as being centered. And then we're gonna jog back across. And this shows us where we're at. And we wanna go to the edge. Right like that. And we wanna make sure we got enough room to do what we wanna do. Oh man, we're cutting it close. Man, we're cutting it close. Literally cutting it close. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to work 0. And yep, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Okie dokie. Air's on. Ground. That's the thing that'll mess you up all the time. You get ready to cut all this junk, it won't be there. Okay. Then you just tell it to make it happen.
Bring the thunder.
Alrighty, so we got these done. The trick is pierce delay override 120. So we're slowing down the pierce, and I also, when they were interlaced, I had to pause from one to the other. I don't know. This torch just is a little different than mine. I'm running it a little bit high. And now we've moved on to these square plates. These are going to be tying together the top of our columns. So now we got to cut this.